They call it the recession-proof business, the machine that runs itself. Buy a laundromat and quarters pour in while you sleep. No employees, no inventory, no skill required. It's one of the most romanticized businesses in America. So I ran the real numbers, what it actually costs to own a laundromat, what it really pays, and whether it's the passive gold mine everyone promises, or the most expensive lesson you'll ever buy. The pitch is beautiful. People will always need clean clothes, in a good economy or a bad one. It's a cash business that runs around the clock. No staff to manage, no products to restock, no customers to talk to. You just own the machines and collect the money. That's why How to Buy a Laundromat is searched by thousands of would-be investors every month. But there's a reason the people selling laundromats are so eager to sell. Let's build this one from the ground up and find out why. First, the shock. A laundromat is not a cheap business to get into. This is the opposite of a side hustle. Buying an existing laundromat typically runs anywhere from $200,000 to over $500,000, and busy stores in big cities go for far more. Building one from scratch is just as brutal. Commercial washers and dryers cost between $1,000 and $20,000 each, and a full floor of them can run $100,000 to $300,000 on its own. Add the plumbing, the electrical, the water heaters, the build-out, the lease deposit, and the permits. Realistically, you are not getting into this business for under $150,000, and most serious buyers spend a lot more. This is why almost everyone buys an existing store. You're not just buying machines, you're buying an existing stream of customers and cash flow. At least that's the theory. So what does a laundromat actually bring in? A healthy, well-located store usually does somewhere between $15,000 and $30,000 a month in gross revenue. The big ones do more, and the money comes in more ways than you'd think. There's the wash and dry itself. But the real operators stack extra income on top. Wash, dry, and fold service, where customers pay you to do it for them, pick-up and delivery, vending machines for soap and snacks, even an ATM in the corner. It's a genuine cash machine. The problem was never the revenue. The problem is what it costs to keep those machines spinning. So let's take a solid store doing $20,000 a month and watch where that money actually goes. The number one killer, the one that quietly eats laundromats alive, is utilities. Water, gas, and electricity to run dozens of machines all day can eat 20 to 30% of your revenue before anything else. Then there's rent. And for a laundromat, rent is sacred, because you cannot easily move 100 bolted-down machines. Then repairs and maintenance, because machines running 16 hours a day break constantly, and a commercial repair bill is not cheap. Add insurance, a card or coin system that takes its cut, and if your store is attended, an attendant's wages on top. And then the small bleeds, theft, vandalism, and the occasional flood. So what's left? After utilities, rent, repairs, and everything else, a well-run laundromat nets somewhere around 20 to 35% of its revenue. On that $20,000 store, you're taking home roughly $4,000 to $7,000 a month. Now that's real money. But look closely, because here's the twist. You spent $300,000 to earn it. At that rate, it takes 4 to 5 years just to earn your investment back before you're truly in profit. And that entire calculation depends on one number the seller controls. The number they showed you. Laundromat listings are famous for inflated revenue claims. A seller can quote you gross sales that no one can verify and hand you a turnkey passive business that's really running on fumes. And that exposes the truth of this business. It is not passive. You are the owner, the mechanic, the money collector, and the landlord's tenant all at once. It is semi-passive at absolute best. A laundromat is not a machine that prints money. It's a real business that demands real management. But run right, it can absolutely pay. The operators who win treat it like an operation, not a lottery ticket. They modernize old machines to slash the utility bill. They add wash and fold and pick up and delivery, the services that actually grow the income. And above all, they lock in a long, favorable lease. So is it worth it? Here's the honest verdict. It's worth it if you buy right, and buying right means one thing above all. Verify the numbers before you spend $1. Don't trust the seller's revenue claim. Pull the actual water bill, because water usage doesn't lie about how many loads really run through that store. Get a long lease locked in, because the single fastest way to kill a laundromat is a landlord who triples your rent at renewal once you've sunk $300,000 into a spot you can't move. Modernize the machines, add the services, and it becomes a durable, semi-passive cash producer. It's not worth it if you believe the fantasy that you'll buy a store, never show up, and collect quarters forever. And one hard warning: watch out for brokers selling turnkey laundromats with beautiful numbers and no proof. That's where fortunes disappear. Remember, the recession-proof business only works if you actually run it. The quarters are real. The passive part is the lie. If this saved you from a $300,000 mistake or gave you the blueprint to buy your first store the right way, subscribe. Every week we break down the real economics of a business you've thought about owning. Next up, the business you drive past every single day and never think about. That quietly prints money. The car wash. See you there.